Hello, everybody. Uh, my name is Magic, and this is a Toonkind at 12 FPS, an honest appraisal, and I am here with my good friend and co-host.
It Wick, yeah.
Uh, I will be keeping who I am playing a secret, but for now. But Wick, would you like to introduce your character?
Yes. I'm gonna be playing June Ishikawa. Um, and she's just a teenage girl, just getting stuff done.
All right, all right. June, your your family has a jeweler. It was a jeweler. Yes, I'm.
Yes.
Yes. And you've heard about this quite rare gem in Tezukanata, and it's not guarded per se. It's fairly valuable, and people do like looking at it. But there are no. It's in a small building. It's I would compare it to just like I don't know. It's not a museum per se. It's too small for it, but it's just a place you go to see like cool knickknacks, that sort of stuff. Sometimes you can buy them. But the place doesn't have any security, and the gem is just blocked off by a shining magical barrier. Uh, and you're here to steal that gem. You've snuck in after hours. It's not very hard. There's no one there. The door was practically already unlocked. Someone
I mean, it's
probably
just.
forgot to unlock it. And yeah, you're standing in this curious museum with a very nice looking gem behind a magical barrier.
Let's see. Mm, And now she's just looking like, how am I gonna handle this one? Uh,
I know we talked about this before game, but you probably do have like the materials for a summoning circle
oh
on
yeah,
hand.
but she the first thing I'm gonna do, she's gonna roll hammer space.
Okay. Yeah,
Let's
sure.
go. Good. Okay. So she goes uh she goes into her hammer space and pulls out a pair of gloves. They're just working gloves. You got to get ready for this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, so she puts them on, kind of brushes her hair back a little. All right, let's see what we're doing. She gets the stuff out for the summoning circle.
All
We
right.
need something to break this barrier. She starts flipping through. I'm assuming she has like a book or something
Yeah.
that
Uh,
helps with this kind of thing.
June, you start flipping through this book, and there's a lot of like more low level stuff in here, but there is a weird looking page that doesn't look like it belonged in the book. It's it's different paper, but it's put into the bindings, and it looks like a pretty powerful entity. Not too powerful you can't deal with anything. You've never heard of this thing before, but it's in this book.
Hmm. Maybe I should have read this earlier. I only skimmed it. And she I'm gonna roll hammer space again. I almost want her to fumble just to see what she pulls out. Okay, no. But she actually takes out um like a magnifying glass just to take a look. Is this thing like actually bound into the book or was it just kind of stuck in there? Like,
Uh, it was. It kind of looks like it was stuck in there.
hmm. Well, this seems pretty useful. And now she's just taking a look at it. Hmm.
It's a fairly standard summoning circle. Typical things like candles, chalk is needed, but
Uh,
there's a strange request for glitter.
glitter?
Yeah.
Uh,
probably find
Hmm.
some loose glitter in hammer spaces. It's not. It's probably
Yeah.
not too uncommon. If you've ever handled anything glitter, it's probably ended up in your hammer space. Let's be honest here.
Well, there might be one thing. I'm gonna roll it again. Okay, that actually worked out. Um, she doesn't actually have any glitter on her, but she does pull out a tube of nail polish that is glittery. So
I
I
mean,
hope this works.
it'll work. It sure is glitter.
See? All right, how am I gonna set this up? She takes the chalk, starts drawing some of the circle. Where the hell am I supposed to put glitter? Why does this need glitter? I mean, I'm glad I have it, but
Uh, Looking at the instructions, you can tell the glitter is supposed to go, like, basically on top of the candles. So,
ah,
it probably, for nail polish, you can probably assume that you can just put some nail polish on the top of the candles
so she
before lighting them on fire.
she decides to put like a little ring of nail polish around the top of each of the candles. That way, it doesn't burn the nail polish. She
Yeah,
doesn't know the flammability of nail polish.
I don't either, to be fair.
She's like, listen, this I might know about a little bit, but
Flammability of nail polish.
I don't know.
I just okay, but yeah, it's it's nothing. The circle itself doesn't look to be anything extraordinary. To activate the summoning circle, you only have to speak a few words. They're like typical summoning words. Uh,
Okay, this is doable. And I knew it was going to be this easy. She starts lighting the candles. I wouldn't have been so worried about it.
all
And
right.
then she finishes lighting each of the candles. All right, looks like it's time to say the magic words.
Uh,
Uh,
I don't have any magic words in mind. I am sorry. I did not
that's
think about this
okay. I was
beforehand.
just gonna make something.
All right, what you got, Wick?
Oh wait, I was just gonna say she says it,
All
but
right, yeah, you can just say it. Uh, you say these words, and this place wasn't. It's basically after hours, so there isn't much light around here. But any light that there was, kinda just goes, and the only thing left is the candles, which sparkle and then ignite in a purplish flame. And
oh,
the walls of the summoning circle, there it creates a little bit of a magical barrier, sort of. It's flame-like and wavy. It doesn't go more than like 3 inches off the ground, but it's just a visible showing that it is activated and it is there. And for a quiet moment, nothing happens. And for the
ah.
audience, there is the beginning of a backtrack sound. And there is a sudden ripping tear that enters the middle of the circle, and then
All right.
another creating an X, and a very tall creature standing. How tall did I want her to be?
Tall can I make?
I would say about 7 feet,
Oh.
7-ish feet in height. Uh, it is. It comes stepping out of the X mark in space, and it stitches closed behind them. It is a tall, womanish creature with long, flowing rainbow hair with divided stars intertwined in them. Half of her face is just a void of red. She her her whole face, her body is this pinkish color. She has pointed ears, very long sort of tailcoat design with a floating blue ribbon around the waist. A good sturdy pair of boots, but she stands there for a moment before her single eye opens. It's a mix of yellow, blue, and red, and it turns to you, and a V-shaped smile of yellow appears on her face, and whatever you just summoned is looking right at you.
um,
Oh, and I forgot to mention, it has a floating crown.
uh, well,
Did you even
see,
expect that to work?
well, she quickly she's staring at at whatever she's just summoned. She looks down at the back of the book, looks up at them, and she she takes a quick breath and just closes the book. Um, and she steps forward to approach this very tall being. To put this in perspective, June is only about 5'2". So they've got
Yeah,
2 feet on her.
yeah.
Uh, so she steps up, she smooths out her skirt for a second, her shirt, and then hi.
Hey.
Um and you are?
Well, me. I guess you could call me the Sue. Just Sue
This
for short.
too.
And this creature known as the Sioux walks to the edge of the summoning circle, and the small barrier that was there kind of flares up in front of her to sort of be like, "Hey, you can't exit." And she crouches down to be eye level with you and goes, "What am I doing here in a circle, huh?"
Well, it was just part of the the spell, and she takes the book back out right over here. She flips it around and just points like, yeah, it's part of the design.
uh, would you like to roll an insight on this guy?
ARB just gonna roll insight on that guy. All right, the mirror roll that. A 14.
uh, the the grin, now that it's eye level with you, it's strangely layered. It has one set of blue fangs and another seemingly jagged teeth behind that.
Oh.
Uh, and it it widens, and she looks kind of like pleased with herself almost. And she goes, "Circle, eh? Well, what am I here for?"
Um, yeah, you know that gem over there, and she directs uh their attention to the gem in question, which is still guarded by the magical barrier.
Yeah.
It's trapped behind that magical barrier. I can't seem to get it, you know? So I
Hmm.
thought maybe you could help out. And she smiles sweetly at Sue.
uh, Sue kind of looks over at the magical barrier and the gem. It's just, well, what do you want me to do? I'm in this barrier, you see?
Oh, right. And she looks back down at the circle that's been holding them back. Um,
But
she opens the book back up and try to look for anything in the instructions, like what? How do
I'll admit, kid, you got a bit of guts summoning me like this. Let's see. I can get you that gem. That shouldn't be a problem. And, uh, Sue, walks from the edge of the summoning circle. The walls kind of flare up again when she reaches the edge near the barrier to the gem. But, uh, June, her foot touches the barrier and it is easily broken and squashed against her foot, and she exits without a problem.
um, she she frantically looks back at the instructions and then compares them to the low level summoning spells previously. Wait, is that supposed to happen? Hi.
Kid, do you know
She,
who I
um, uh, should I roll history or something?
am? You can roll history or religion.
Oh, then let me see. Which one am I better at?
Tell me which, because you'll get a different answer for either or.
Well, they're they're the same modifier, so I'm just gonna type. 15.
15.
That's decent.
Do you want that to be religion? Actually, we'll just go with one. Uh, uh, the Sioux, you remember now. There was, there was, there, Sue is some sort of demi being, sort of almost godlike, but not quite there. So, yeah, you basically just summoned a god. Congratulations. Sue with a 15. Sue is. Uh, it's. It was hard to pin down. It's hard to pin down what Sue is a god of, but you know it's something flashy. And I guess I could. She isn't a. I wouldn't say like a good aligned god. She isn't a good aligned god. She's more on the chaotic neutral side.
Can June make another check?
Sure.
She's gonna make an Arcana check.
Okay.
Oh, another 15.
What you want to
know? She's like, all right, I know this is some kind of demi being, but how strong are they?
Well, they just
trying to gauge it.
Fairly strong. It's they're almost godlike, which should probably tell you all you need to know.
She's taking in whatever Sue is wearing, and she's just kind of like,
Yeah.
Huh. Well, this can't go wrong. She just kind of mutters that.
Sue is inspecting the barrier. She kind of like flicks at it with one of her clawed hands, and she's just like, shouldn't take too much. And she she holds out her hand, and in a sort of fiery red, a scythe appears.
Oh.
And she twirls it in one of her hands before just like swinging it down onto this barrier, where it pierces a crack and the entire thing falls.
Oh, and June, she's trying to remain composed, but she can't help but give a bit of a wide-eyed stare, like, oh, that's,
And Sue just kind of saunters up to the gem, and it has this glowing wood base, which she grabs onto the gem, and it has a pretty good hold on the gem, but she like lifts it, and she just breaks one of the sides of
Oh,
this wooden post. Oops, man.
oh, careful. She walks over to it because the barrier's gone now, so she
Yeah,
can at least hop over to the gem.
yeah,
Is it all right? That was just the post.
yeah. Post might have been a magical conduct for the thingamabob. Anyway, and Sue is holding this. This gem is very small in Sue's hand. It would be probably decent sized in yours, but
Hmm.
uh, it for for a woman of Stu's stature, it is basically nothing.
Heidi.
Just seeing this rack, it's just normal. She sort of like tosses it up like a like a tennis ball and catches it.
Careful with that. Hold on, let me see it. And she puts her hand out.
Uh, Sue looks at you with her. She only has one eye. I keep forgetting this. Sue kind of like side eyes you, and it's just like, well, why should I?
mm, listen. And she puts one hand on her hip. I You might be a demigod? Question mark, but I think I know a little more about jewels than you.
uh, Sue Sue looks at you for a moment and then just starts laughing. She is she is dying for a moment with laughter.
And you can see you want
What am I seeing? What am I seeing?
you see for a very brief moment, I won't make you roll for it. You see like her face gets a little flushed for a minute, like I mean
Sue
I'm telling the truth.
Sue crouches down to eye level with June and puts her hand on one of June's shoulders and goes, "Man, people usually don't talk back to me. I like you."
she when the hand went on her shoulder, she it did kind of flinch for a moment, like what why are they touching me? But she she stares Sue dead in the eye and is like, really?
Yeah. I mean,
Hmm.
look at me. And I'm gonna go ahead and roll an intimidation.
Oh.
uh,
Oh no. I can't wait to see the
41.
modifier.
That's a 41 on intimidation. Sue stares into your soul with that wide grin, and her pupils are exceedingly small compared to the rest of her eyes. And it's there is an aura. There is an aura, June.
I'm gonna roll something too. Um, she's going to this might be unnecessary, but she's gonna roll deception. Oh, she can't hide it. She can't hide it. It was only now that just being so close to this being and be like, look at me. She is. You could see kind of like the sweat on her forehead and part of her face. She's like, oh God, wait, well, hold on, I might have made an error.
Oh, June, what have you released upon this world? Uh, but Sue drops the aura, and she's no longer as intimidating as before, but God, do you know what she can do now? Uh, and she holds the gem out to you and says, "Go on. What's it
And
worth?"
this time, though, June's a little hesitant, kind of like, but slowly she reaches and out and takes the gem. You just gotta be careful with these kinds of things, you know. And she holds it up to the light a bit.
Yeah.
Well, whatever light there is right now.
Uh, it's mostly just still from the candles on the. It's fairly bright in here, just naturally, but
She
it
she
isn't.
takes out her magnifying glass again and starts inspecting it carefully, like a jeweler would.
It's hmm. I'd say it's a pretty high. It's I wouldn't say it's too rare of a gem. It's probably rare for the area, but
Mm,
you could get a pretty good price out of this if you sold it, if you really wanted to. It's good quality, but like it's not extraordinarily rare.
mm. And she takes her time carefully looking at it in order to regain a little more composure from the scare she had.
Yeah.
She's like, all right, I'm back in my element. This is fine. Yeah, this is pretty good quality. I can see why it was on display. Uh, mm.
uh I don't I don't know if you want me to have me roll for this, but Stu's going to
If you want.
it look, I have a pretty high modifier in this.
I
I
don't
don't
care. It's just hilarious to see.
that's actually pretty low. Uh
Oh.
Sue kind of like swipes it back
Uh, uh,
and
uh,
she's holding it not as like not as carelessly as she was before, but still pretty carelessly. She's pretty confident that she won't break this thing, probably. Uh she's just like, is it now? Is it, huh?
um, I mean, relatively good quality. Um, as long as we can avoid adding any defects or scratches. And she's pointedly looking at Sue's claw hand. Kind of just like, you gotta be careful. That's why she's like, you gotta be careful with this.
Client.
Just in case.
uh Sue looks at it. She goes, tell you what, kid. I like your attitude. Do you want to cut a deal?
And she just kind of stares at her for a moment, narrows her eyes just a little. What kind of deal we talking?
Well, I've always wanted a warlock.
Oh,
You know, there's no worship involved. Just something to put me up there. You know? Most guides go on about all the followers they have, but I'm new around the block. But goddamn, I won't accept anything but the top. You don't gotta do any of that fancy worshipping shit. I don't care. Give you a little bit of my power, and I get a little bit more fame. You
and at the when Sue says power, June raises an eyebrow and is like, hmm.
know? Why, you want a
Well,
demonstration?
uh, well, by all means. And she looks interested now. That's for sure.
Okay.
Uh,
I need to pull up something just real fast. Uh, it, I forgot to do the thing beforehand. Anyway, um, hmm. She raises her hand, and how do I want to do this? Um, I guess I'm just gonna do it like this. She raises her hand at one of the walls before pausing and going, I think it'd be better if I just showed you. And she takes one of June's hands and
uh,
points it at the wall and says, "All right." And you feel a power coursing through your hand
oh,
as uh you fire off an eldritch blast at the podium that the gem was on, and
oh
it
shit.
just goes up into smithereens. It is just dust left.
Uh, do you want to know? You want to know something neat though?
Yeah.
She actually does have Eldritch Blast as a spell.
It's like I kind of guessed. It's a warlock staple. It's a
Well,
warlock
yes, but
staple.
consider I've made like a I've made quite a few warlocks, and only she and like one other person has Eldritch Blast. So I'm like, oh.
Yeah. It
um,
yeah, that podium is gone now.
at,
And
at
you get
first,
like after tingles on your arm of just where the power was.
she she takes her hand back a little bit quickly. She was kind of startled, and at first she was concerned, like, I didn't want to cause any property damage, you know. But like that podium is dust, and she's like,
Yeah.
well, I don't gotta worry about that.
Look, kid.
That she
No one's here. And if they were, they want to mess with me. I'm the main goddamn character in this story arc.
and June goes from looking and kind of flitting her fingers about to try to get the feeling out, and then she looks back at Sue. Main character. Ah.
Kid, this is all a story. You've taken initiative here to forge your own path, haven't you?
And her her mouth goes into a little bit of a smirk. Yeah, I have. And she confidently flips a little bit of a piece of hair away, like like a little whoosh.
Well, like I guess you can consider my call. Bleh, I can't words. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Well, I guess you can consider me your call to action. And Sue places the gem back in June's hand and goes, "Well, you want to do the deal?"
And this time she isn't as hesitant, but she still has a question in her mind. And she looks up at Sue and asks, "So, what kind of god are you? What do you stand for?"
What do I stand for? I stand for being at the top. I'm the main character in this crazy world of gods. I'm the Sue. I'm meant to be perfect, and I won't accept
Perfect.
anything less.
And her eyes kind of light up, like, that's kind of cool, you know.
Yeah.
And she
Sue's aiming her way for the top. Whatever the top is very unclear, by the way. But damn, she's sure not aiming for it.
and uh June looks down at the gem in the palm of her hand, and she's kind of she grasps it and she's like, "All right, I like I like your style too."
uh,
What exactly do you have in mind in terms of like a deal? Like we don't have to. And her face kind of scrunches up. We don't have to do like a bloodletting or something, right? Like.
please, kid, you'd stain my coat. And
Oh, thank God you're not that archaic.
please, blood ain't that fashionable. Uh, all I need you to do is, how do I want to put this? Be your own main character. Take control of your little side story in my life. Aim for the top.
And she, her smirk just grows bigger. And she's like, I thought I was already doing that, but
Sue's smile widens again, and she goes, "Wow, never thought my first warlock would be doing so good." And yeah, look, Sue likes your attitude, kid.
and she's just like, yeah, power, yeah, doing the thing.
And Sue looks at the gem again and goes, I should give you a bit more trust on this one. And she stands up and she taps one of her clawed fingers against her face and goes, what could I give you that will make you go beyond? I know. And she takes that floating blue belt from around her waist and uh, tears off a bit of the cloth. It's it looks fashionable still, but now it's like a rugged fashionable instead of a clean fashionable. Uh,
Oh yeah, gotta look
fashionable in
edgy.
fashionable in quotation marks. Anyway, and she takes the cloth and she stretches it out sort of, and she does something you're not quite sure what it is, but she like balls it up, and there's like a flash, and she opens her hands, and there is this small blue looking dragon thing. It's got a mane of yellow with like wavy bits of color in it, and it it has it's mainly blue in color, the same blue that her scarf was. Scarf thing, her thing. It's a it's a cloth. I don't know how to describe it. Uh, and it awakens out of her hand, and it has glowing blue eyes, and it starts flying towards you, and it circles around your head once and looks you in the eyes before settling by you. And it doesn't touch you at all, but it is there. And Sue goes, alright, it's just a little bit of something to get you to work harder. That thing's yours from here on out. Got it?
Uh, yeah, but she's gonna roll. She's gonna roll something. Hold on. I wonder. Ah, okay, good.
21. What was that for?
Because so right now she's looking at it like, yeah, this is neat. But on the inside, she's like, oh my gosh, that's really cute. And she's
uh,
trying not to show it, but she's actually like, oh, this is really cute. What the heck?
uh, and Sue goes, alright, that thing will be your familiar from, here until you don't want it anymore.
Oh, I've never had one of those.
Familiars could do a number of things. They can turn into other animals. This is the preferred form, but
Hmm.
they can spy on people for you.
Her eyes kind of widen, like, oh, okay.
What else
um,
can familiars do? Good source of companionship. You don't got to feed them because they're magical.
and what's it called? And actually, I don't know if I have to. Should I roll animal handling on this,
You
or?
don't have to. This thing is yours.
All right, she's gonna she just kind of gently just she just carefully just pet.
uh, it blinks at you before like pushing its head into your hand.
That's really cute. She doesn't say that, but God, it's just good soft stuff. But she begins petting them more, and she's like, "About time. About time I got a cute, uh, useful." She's not petting them though.
uh, Sue is still grinning. Uh, before looking at the remainders of the summoning circle and just going, "Do you know when security gets here?"
Oh, oh, she, she's like, oh, shoot.
Right, we're in the middle of a heist.
Right. Uh, she, she, she goes over to the circle. Um, but then she turns back to Sue. This isn't gonna like, it, it's not gonna like, I can just dismantle this and you'll be fine, right?
Kid, I don't even need a summoning circle to get here. It's just more of a calling than anything.
Uh, okay. she, she's just like, what did I summon? What did I do?
What did you release upon this world, June?
So she starts blowing out the candle. She's like, oh God, I should probably hurry about this.
Uh, Sue's just like, I mean, you could take a shortcut out of here if you want to.
And she's like, uh, she has a look of confusion. A shortcut. I,
Yeah.
I didn't I didn't see one on the map I got. How would
You think would be walking normally, and Sue kind of like snuffs out like some of the remaining candles and just takes her scythe, twirls it in her hand again, and does a slashing motion at the air in that same X pattern that she entered in, and a rip is torn, and uh, she holds her hand out to you and says, "Come on, let's go."
uh yeah. She's kind of just like, for a second she is kind of she's kind of still like, um hmm. She finishes cleaning up real quick. Uh yeah. Let's go. She, she's a little nervous, like, I don't know how that works, but okay.
Spells. Uh, and uh, Sue considers, like, she she considers something for a moment and then just picks you up and just steps through the
um,
portal. Kid, your legs are short. And
and she, her face kind of inadvertently makes like this pouty look, like how dare. I'm really not that short. You're just freakishly tall.
and Sue does like a motion of, you know, you know the one, like the waving hand that motion.
Yeah.
And you step through the portal, and this sure isn't. This probably isn't Inkwell, and it's
Oh no.
it's a strange realm. It it looks like bits and pieces of different places, and Sue walks through it a couple of steps before slicing another hole in reality and stepping back out. And hey, this street looks familiar. This street looks very familiar to you, June. It's it's a street in your own hometown.
And she, for the moment that they were in that reality bending realm, she was kind of starstruck. She was like, whoa, whoa, that's some cool shit.
Yeah, and after stepping on the other side, she just kind of puts you down. Uh, the streets are majorly empty. There's like maybe a few tunes walking by, but none of them really pay you any mind in that anime-esque fashion where something weird happens and no one notices. Uh,
Perfect.
uh,
She straightens out her skirt a little, kind of like dusting it, like, um, thanks, thanks for the lift.
welcome. Wasn't too easy to, wasn't too hard.
And um, I was trying to, I was gonna say something and then I forgot. So
Were you gonna
whoops.
ask about the realm because
Yes. I was like, you know what? Yes. um, and she looks up at Sue. Back there. You gonna go back anytime soon? That was pretty wicked.
you want to go back?
I mean, it doesn't have to be. Hold on. Well, it doesn't have to be now, obviously, but
Sure, kid. I'll take you back someday. That place is well, I wouldn't call it mine, but I definitely made it.
you made that? And
Yeah.
she looks, even though yes, this is a demigod, she looks genuinely impressed, like, oh, wow.
It's well, for me as a god, there's no real place. Something something pantheon, whatever. So I made my own by taking bits of theirs.
Just like, oh shit.
What? It's not like they're gonna notice a corner missing or anything. Or like a
And she gives a
hallway.
shrug, like, fair point.
Just taking bits and pieces.
Yeah. And she looks down at the gem that she still has in her hand. She just had it clutched in her hand the whole time. She's like, yeah, I really gotta. I'm ready to aim for bigger and better things.
Wouldn't expect anything less of you. And Sue gives off that eerily wide smile again and looks at you and goes, just call for me anytime you need me, alright? No more summoning circles. That was more of a fancy introduction. Gotta have style.
Wait, how do you do that? She has this look like, wait, how?
How do I do what?
How do I just like and she pulls up from the pocket of her skirt, just like she just pulls out a cell phone. Do I just like call you or something? Like
Yeah, you know what? That's a great idea. And Sue snatches your phone and
a whole I could put the number in.
and
Wait,
Sue puts the number in herself and in the contact. Somehow she's unlocked your phone. Maybe you shouldn't question that. Uh,
uh,
and she hands it back to you, and there's a section that just says Sue. Looking at the number doesn't look like an actual phone number.
this I'm gonna assume that this will work.
Wanna
She
try
looks
it?
pointedly at her like, yeah. And she just hits call on there, even though she's right there,
Uh,
just to see what happens.
yeah. You hear. What would be her ringtone? Uh,
When you gotta think of a ringtone for it. I mean,
yeah. Uh, it sounds like the beginning of a song from a musical. You don't think you've ever heard it, but she pulls out this sparkly looking phone. It has like, uh, it has phone charms, just of like various sorts of things. It honestly, it's like it's comical how many phone charms she has on this phone. And she flips it open and holds it to her ear, and you hear double just a really.
I I just had to check. It kind of looked like a weird number. Now,
Kid, you gotta be able to call me from any dimension. Of course the phone number is gonna look weird.
she hangs up the phone.
Sue is laughing as she closes her own phone and tosses it back into her hammer space, which is just the blank red area of her face, by the way.
She's oh. And she puts both her hands on her hips. I really just had to check, because I don't know if you know guys, but they'll give you any sort of trash, right?
Tell me about it. Alright. You should get going home, though.
uh,
She got, like,
I guess.
parents to worry about.
This time she kind of lets out a chuckle, like, oh, then they're fine. But I should probably check on my brother.
Go home, kid.
she she takes 2 steps in the direction of home and then turns around. Wait, you aren't just gonna boss me around, are you? She kind of looks like, how dare I can go home when I want to.
That's how I like it, kid. And she does that same slicing motion and walks back into her portal, and it zips closed behind her, and she's gone like she was never there in the first place.
she she stares at the spot where Sue was, and then she goes over to the nearest wall, puts a hand on it, and she's like, "What did I do? Crap! What? Okay, oh, hold on."
That dragon is still with you, by the way.
The what?
You're familiar.
Oh, what? What? And she looks at the looks at the little familiar and is like, what? Oh God, wait. How am I gonna explain? How am I gonna explain this to? Oh, jeez.
Uh, Sue, not Sue. This dragon creature you've yet to name, sort of like looks at you and then looks at you and then settle like curls around your shoulders
Um,
and sometimes fancy thing about toon familiars, they can change form. And now you have this what looks to be some sort of scarf. It's not a huge scarf, but it's enough to like sort of, wear. And it's blue in color, that same blue that Sue's belt was, and it's a little bit torn on one end.
she she looks down at like, oh, she's gonna roll hammer space one more time.
Alright.
Yes, good. She takes out one of those compact mirrors from her hammer space and it just takes a look like, I wonder if this looks good with my outfit right now. All right, all right, it's not bad. Certainly a lot easier to explain. She clicks it shut, puts it back. Well, guess I'll see where this goes. She starts making her way back home.
Congratulations, you are now a warlock of Sue. Mission complete. Uh, oh boy, that was fun. That was fun. That
Oh
was fun.
boy. Oh, what have you gotten yourself into, June? Only time can tell.
Anyway, I don't. I think that's good. I think that's a good place to leave it off.
That is probably good. I mean, it is an intro after all, so it's
Yeah.
yeah,
All right.
it's
Uh,
nice.
thank you everyone who's tuning into this. We
Yeah,
will see you next time on whatever crazy adventures either of these two characters have. So,
yeah.
bye y'all.